everyone. Welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the simplest sports fantasy game in the market. You can pick from multiple sports platforms. And get this, sign up using the code ASU and Prize Picks will 100% match your initial offer up to $100. Download the app for free at the Google Play Store or the App Store. Well, the Falcons are on a 2-game losing streak after losing to the Panthers 25-15 in a game that wasn't that close at all. What do the Falcons need to do in order to snap out of this 2-game streak?
Well, this is two games where I've seen a team that lacked a sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that again there was a game plan of we can beat this team instead of it was almost like with the short week we go into the same game plan that we had the week before against the Chargers,
Yes.
and hopefully that'll work. I thought the running game was decent. Uh, if you looked at the box scores after the game, if you did not watch it, you would say, well, Mariota had a pretty good day. And at the end of the day, yeah, he did some things uncharacteristic, throwing the ball up for grabs, those things like that. He missed maybe one or two throws whatsoever. Um, but I don't know what we're expecting of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're looking at all the glitz and the glamour around the Mahomes and all those type of quarterbacks, what Tua is doing and those things and want to see that from our quarterback. But this is not what Arthur Smith wants him to be. He wants him to be make sure he takes care of the football, make sure he manages the game whatsoever, this and that. Now, that could be detrimental to a player when he's labeled as a game manager.
Mm-hmm.
That means he'll never play outside of what he could be, which is a game manager. Because take care of the football, take care of the game, make sure we're in the right places. Not, hey man, go out there and have fun, wild wild west. Let's do this thing. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, sling it around. No, hand the ball off, manage the game, don't lose the game. So when you get that stigma of being that type of quarterback or that type of player, you tend not to play outside your role because you've been taught to play a role. This is your role. Just like receivers. You're
Mm-hmm.
third down receivers. So you come in on third down, move the chains, and you out. And and then if you're not careful, you'll think that's all you are. And then when it's time for you to be a starter, you can't play at that, be that receiver one or receiver two because of the fact mentally you have already set in your head, I only play 10, 15 plays a game, and I'm only going to get targeted 3 to 4 times a game on third down.
Mm-hmm.
So players have to be careful when coaches. Well, let me take that back. Coaches need to be careful how they label players as situational players, role players, mm, game managers, whatsoever, just a pass rusher, these things, because when we are wired where when you tell us who we are and what you want from us, that's what we're gonna give you, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all we're gonna give you. And so, in defense of Mariota, I believe that's what's been told to him. Hey, this offense, you know how it runs. You make sure it runs smoothly. Take care of the football, manage the football game. That's who Mariota has been.
Uh, so one thing I want to ask you is, and I'm gonna come back to that point because it made me think of something. But have you ever, in your career, you had to deal, not you personally, but you had a quarterback controversy on one of your teams where people were wanting the other guy to play? Have you ever had that on your teams, and how did you deal with it as a player?
We having a quarterback controversy here in Atlanta.
Well, I'm not gonna say we having a controversy yet, but there are some
Is
people
there
asking questions.
conversations? Wait a minute.
There's a
Where have I been?
conversation.
There's conversations that the other guy should be playing? I haven't
Yeah.
heard that. No, of course you had. Of course, every team, if you play long enough, you've been on teams where, you want the other guy to play. I'm gonna go back to a situation in it was 1995 season, I think it was. And actually it was the I think it was the 95 season where we went to the playoffs. We needed to beat the 49ers to get into the playoffs, and Bobby Aver came in and took us to the playoffs. We go to the playoffs in Green Bay, and we thought Bobby was going to still be our quarterback because Jeff was pulled in that 49ers game. So Jeff started off not playing well. So on the sidelines, you hear the grumbling, hey, Bobby needs to be playing. You hear
Hmm.
the defensive guys walking by June Jones and says, why Bobby's not playing? Pull Jeff, this and that. So when you start to have that, there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
There's now a distrust, and there's one of resentment to what's going on whatsoever. So, you know, part of the locker room says, and I'm not saying half of the locker room, I'm just saying a group of
Yeah.
people may be saying, I want to see this quarterback play. Nothing against the starter, but look, I think this guy deserves a chance to play this game because I feel good about it. This group of people feel good about it, which may be the starters feel good about it. So let's see it happen. And it didn't happen for us in that game, and of course we lost. Um, there, you know, there was a time when I was in Pittsburgh for a year. There was a quarterback controversy with Cordell Stewart and Tommy Maddox,
Hmm.
and we started out. I think it was we were 2-4 at the time, and the thing was, I think Cordell got pulled in the game. We came back and won the game with Tommy Maddox, and Tommy Maddox finished the season for us, and we won the division and went into the second round of the playoffs with Tommy Maddox. So, you know, sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. So it's just how the players that support and cast when the change happens, does that supporting cast step up and cover the deficiencies of the quarterback, or
Hmm.
does that supporting cast say, let's see what he can do without us? So it's just however that supporting cast responds to the quarterback change.
So, like you were saying, it's possible that Arthur Smith is, told Mariota this is how he wants him to play, so to speak, manage it, whatnot, like that. What if that's not good enough? Meaning we can't we can't come back on teams because
Right,
he's just like you said, he's in this mind
right,
frame. Hey, I'm just here to manage it.
right,
And then we run into those scenarios
right,
like in the game where he's trying to throw when he's on the ground. It
right,
seemed like he was trying a little too hard
right.
on some things.
Well, I think he watches the news. He's probably hears it on social media. He's probably reading it all that he's not doing what a quarterback wants should supposed to be doing, and he's probably trying to. Sometimes you try to prove to people that I am an elite quarterback, and you do things that's uncharacteristic of your character,
Yeah.
and that you it looks crazy to some people, and at the same time, you got to look at it. The Falcons are sitting here 4-6 with 7 games to go,
Hmm.
and legitimately, you can win 5 of the 7.
Hmm.
So don't think Arthur Smith and that coaching staff is not looking and saying, legitimately, we can win 5 of the 7. So we should not panic right now to make a quarterback change because we don't know what will happen. We do know what Marcus Mariota gives us, and we have a chance with that, a known entity to an unknown entity. And I get it. They're half a game back in the division of Tampa, and they're a
Hmm.
game back overall record with Tampa. So you're still sitting there with a playoff hope. And that's why Arthur Smith could say to you that definitely there's no quarterback change right now because of the fact that we still have a chance not only to win a division, but to get into the playoffs. So at the end of the day, I got to be with Arthur Smith on this.
Hmm.
With 7 games. If it was 4 games to play and there was no way you get into the playoffs, okay, all right, let's see what we have for next year. Let's get this guy ready for next year. But right now, you're right in the thick of things. You're right there sitting outside looking in, but a chance to be inside looking at.
So, and you think by replacing the quarterback at this point could throw a kink in them making that run to the playoffs? Because what if
Well,
it
because
helps?
yeah, because I think you don't know, and people says, well, you got to throw him in there to get a chance to know. But here's what's the confusing part is this: What if he comes out and have a bad first quarter? Do you put Mariota back in,
Mhm.
or do you trust that he's going to get better? And I'm going, and you're already down 2 scores. So it's one of those things that you got to make a decision, that the head coach has to make a decision that's best for the team. And right now, the season is not over with. There's 7 games to go. All we have to do is just win one at a time. We get back to 500. We're gonna be okay. And I think that's the thinking in Flowery Branch right now, because that would be my thinking. If I'm the head coach and offensive coordinator, my thinking is this: okay, um, we've gotten this far. We 2 games out of under 500. We're
Mhm.
still in the race to win the division. Let's ride this out until we can't ride it anymore. That's my thinking right now.
Speaking of quarterback controversy or conversation, the local guy returns this week,
Yeah,
Justin Fields, who the
yeah,
Falcons could have taken at number 4, but
right,
instead they took a tight end.
right.
Is he going to come back and haunt us this week, or overall in the grand scheme of things, is this something that might haunt these Falcons by passing up on him?
Well, here's a young quarterback that's from here that felt that he should have been drafted here. He wants to come back and show why he should have been drafted uh, here, the
Good.
number 4 overall pick. And the thing is that again, it can work. It can go both ways. He can come here and light it up, or he can come in here and stink it up.
Mhm.
But I guarantee you this: all week the talk is going to be about Fields. You going back home? We got you.
Mhm.
Got your back. Let's go show them they should have drafted. Let's go show them. Let's go home and show them. Let's go have a homecoming. So those players in that locker room was every day going, "We got you, baby. We got you. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to your home. Let's go to the A and show them what they missing." That's dangerous. That's a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous proposition right there.
I'm gonna give you a scenario, and some of the people that are listening and watch are probably gonna be mad at me for bringing this up, but I have to. So we passed on Justin Fields, and we're not utilizing Pitts at this rate. What if the young man doesn't want to stay in Atlanta Falcon? What can we do to fix this situation? Because week after week, the targets aren't there, or he's getting overthrown. There's something going on between them two, and I don't know what it is. I don't want to place blame on either guy, but they are not connecting.
You know what? It just look awkward. It looks um, like you said, they're just not on the same page. And I don't know why uh, they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're just not on the same page right now. They're not. It's not coordinated. They don't feel good. Maybe Mariota is trying to get him the ball too so badly that he overthrows him, or he underthrows him, or he misses him, or whatever it may be, and vice versa. Pitts may want to get open so badly that he may not be getting his spot at the right time, and he may be uh, not tracking the ball well as he should be because he wants to do so well.
Mhm.
But uh, you know, here's the thing. I think it'll get better. I'm not saying it's going to get better this season. I would love for it to get better, but it's going to get better. I think that you will go into the offseason with a quarterback contract, with a quarterback battle. I think that you Mariota will be the starter going into mini camp and all those things, but I think Ritter would be that guy that they're going to be looking for to step up, and he's already mature enough to play the position. Even though we're talking about preseason, he just looked like a veteran when he's out there on the field. So, and I honestly, I'm gonna tell you this, and
Tell us, please.
and
Give us the real.
here's the thing. Here's the thing that uh, trust me. No, don't trust me. But probably there's been conversation between Pitts and London and Ritter and said, I can't wait until we're able to light it up here in Atlanta. Hmm. I can't wait to see you on the field so I can do my thing. Come on. I I I'm not guaranteeing and I'm not promise you, but probably this conversation has happened at some point, even if it's happened all the way back into training camp.
Mhm.
It has happened. And on the way home from the facility, I'm already talking. I can't wait to see what Ritter. I can't wait to see Ritter. Or I'm going, boy, I wish they let Mariota open it up more.
Yeah.
But at some point, you're saying, hey, I need to be able to produce to help this team win football games. Because here's the thing, I'm not producing and we're 2 games under 500. Maybe if I'm producing at a high level, there may be a chance we win more games. So that's my thinking. That's my selfishness. But still, I'm talking about being in the same framework of what we do offensively, but with more targets. So look, right now, you you don't win Sunday, it's gonna really get ugly. It's gonna really, really get ugly because now guys are starting to look at each other. Now the questions are gonna be, where do we go from here? What do we do now? We've tried it this way, we tried it that way, and we had little success, but now we're not having any success at all. How do we fix this? What do we need to do? And you can't, right now in this part of the season, you can't say, well, let's just stick with what we're doing
Mhm.
because I know it's going to work. You're running out of games. You're running out of games. And at some point, you got to say, okay, I got to tweak this thing to be the spark of flame for us to get where we want to go this year. I mean,
Do
at
you
the
think?
end of the day, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, were we expecting this team to be in the playoffs?
No, a lot of people were not. They expect to win but two
I
games.
was expecting them to have a chance to be in the playoffs.
Hmm.
I said if certain things happen, they would be right there with a chance to be in the playoffs. And guess what? They're right there with a chance to be in the playoffs. We weren't expecting them to come out and be 9-1 right now, or 8-2 right now, or even 7-3 right now. They are right where we expected at the 500 mark with 7 games to play with opportunity to win at maybe 4 or 5 of them. So there we go.
Do you think that a coach could be stubborn enough though because the media is talking about the other quarterback and he's just like defiant, like okay, because what happened in case you missed it, Arthur Smith said there's no situation in which Ritter would be the starter. So then people start dissecting those words and no situation. You're thinking, so you're telling me if it's over, it's still not going to play him? So is he not good enough? I mean, what's going on? That's what then
Well,
that it snowballs into a bigger thing for Arthur
it
Smith.
does. It really does because if I'm Ritter, you telling me right now, hey man, what do you mean? Even if Mariota gets hurt, I don't play.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's almost like, hey, it's almost like you telling me, hey, kid, just sit back, wait your turn, don't worry about it. I ain't playing you. But there's 2 situations where he's gonna play. If Mariota gets hurt, that's number 2. Number 1, if Arthur Blank says play Ritter, you gonna play Ritter. So don't say there's not a situation that out there that Ritter's gonna play, because there is. There's 2. Mariota goes down, or Arthur Blank says, I want to see Ritter on the field.
Yeah, that's facts.
So at the end of the day, there's no coach, there's no player, there's no GM, there's no president of an organization bigger than the owner of the football team.
Unfortunately, It's not necessarily always a good thing, but if like you said this Sunday, if the play on the field is consistently bad, those guys we call the boo birds are going to show up,
Yeah, yeah,
and they're going to see another side of the Atlanta fans that they probably didn't want to see or hear. But
right, right. And here's the thing: it's gonna be a crowd because everybody wants to see Justin Fields.
mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a crowd. You get the ball first, Falcons. You're gonna have to march down and score. You can't be 3 and out. Uh, a 3 and out, ugly 3 and out,
Mm-hmm.
and then allow this team to march down the field and score points. You can't do that.
We were talking about the physicality of Drake. What did you think about that personal foul call against him? I don't think when we were texting, you kind of thought it was maybe a little soft, so to speak, compared to when you played in the league.
Yeah, I couldn't. It was one of those. It was one of those that I felt that what else could have been done.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that um, the receiver had time enough to see the blow, and which he did because he kind of caught it and flinched a little bit, and the DB hit him with his shoulder pretty much. I thought that I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, really? Y'all need to go back and see some 90s tape and early 2000s tapes and see some hits and watch us get up and spin the ball and get back to the huddle and say, that's all you got? Because I'm gonna keep coming. Sooner or later, you'll get tired of hitting me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, here it is. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. In today's game, a receiver knows that he doesn't have to be that physical after a catch because of the fact that the rule is you cannot hit a defenseless player,
Yeah.
especially a receiver. Back in the day when we caught balls, we was ready to deliver the blow, and it was gonna be man on man, who's gonna stand up from this blow, and whoever won the blow, you knew you had the best of him on that play, and you had to come back the next play, the next time you come across there, and show that hey, I'm still a man, and I'm gonna keep taking it until I wear you down. And that's the way we played back then. We would love that. I catch a ball for a big first down and you hit me and I go backwards and everybody's going woo and I'm still on the field, first down.
Yeah.
I'm like, you didn't do your job. Your
Yeah.
job was to knock me from the ball and lay me out. You didn't do your job. So I won on that play because I didn't call a 17-yard dig route for a first down. You hit me. You got a ooh. We got a first down. We moved the change. I just scored a touchdown. So the game now is like, ooh, that's a foul. Oh, he should be. Oh, that's terrible. We have been conditioned to see soft football. And I get it. People say, well, the concussions and this and the injuries, this. I get that. I truly get that. But at the same time, you're gonna have to really have good judgment when you throw that flag. Was it something that was really that detrimental that it could have hurt the player?
Yeah.
Or okay, it was a hard hit, let it go. Because here's the difference. We talk about that hit, and then if you've seen the hit in the Chiefs game where Juju Smith got hit and there was no personal foul, and he got laid out, curled up, knuckled up like Tua,
Oh. Mm.
and there was no personal foul call, and it was helmet to helmet. And
Yeah.
I'm going, wait a minute. Now that one was different because it was he blatantly came in with his head and through his body launched into
Yeah.
Juju Smith. So I'm going, wow. I guess is what crew you have. That's gonna get the foul call or not. But at the end of the day, hey, Drake is playing. Big boy. He good. All right. Brush it off. Let's go.
Do we need a spy Sunday for Justin Fields?
I think if we play man to man and we blitz, you better be there. You better hold that middle up. Somebody needs to be there. So I think some plays you have I think at first you do what you do. You're practicing to have a spy. You got it in your defensive scheme. Or you do what you do first. And then if you see it's about to get out of hand, and then what you start to do is you show a 5-6 man blitz and then drop one to make sure there's a spy right there. But I don't know if a spy is gonna help with this dude.
Yeah, and also in that Carolina game, we had a lot of missed tackles.
Yeah,
They've got to wrap up. They've got to wrap up, especially
right.
playing a guy like Justin Fields,
Yeah,
because a lot of his runs aren't like a Lamar Jackson, where it's a
Jackson,
sprint.
which you're gonna see in a few weeks.
Yes, we also got to see that. So yeah, we have some tough ones coming up
Yeah,
that they've
yeah,
got to string together some wins.
yeah. Kyler Murray, you got Kyler Murray coming
Mm.
up. See, yeah, you got to string. You let two get away. That the Chargers game and this Panthers game, you let them get away. You would have been sitting pretty right now if you let them get away. God dog it.
And we're lucky that of course, Carolina didn't tie us, but the Saints lost, so we still have a game up on them. But
Right.
I mean, the Buccaneers, they're not really doing us any favors. So it looks like
No.
we're gonna have to win.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's,
Yeah.
since his off the field issues have been resolved, he's 2-0.
2-0. He's looking better and having more fun.
Yes. So
And it's gonna come down to week 17, baby.
yeah, Atlanta and Tampa. Yeah,
It's
you're
gonna
right.
come down. It's gonna come down to that one. Yeah.
The Falcons. It was last Thursday. They should have a pretty good game plan, I hope, against for these Bears.
Right.
They've had plenty of time off and I seen where some of the players, I guess, were free because Ritter went to the Cincinnati game, and
Right.
I saw another player, I forgot whom I saw at another college game. So
Right.
I'm sure they got that time off, but I hope they got back on the grind and actually looked at this film.
Well, as I said last week, every game is a playoff game from here on out. I mean, you can't afford to lose anymore. You
Yeah.
can't. You can't get too far under 500 from here. You're gonna have to. This is a must win. I'm telling. This is a must win game because you have three opponents that whew, it's scary.
Yeah, and it's not going to get any easier. Like I said, the Falcons only have what looks like 3 remaining home games. Yeah,
Hmm.
so they've got 3 games at home, and they've got the Bears, Washington Commanders, the Steelers,
Steelers.
the Saints, Ravens, Cardinals, and Bucks.
Yeah.
The Ravens, Christmas Eve, that's going to be a tough one. We understand that.
Hmm.
These
Yep.
other ones they can get. These other ones they should be able.
Yeah. That Baltimore game I don't like
Yeah, that's
there, and that's I think Baltimore and the Tampa game are the two that I don't really particularly like. But the other ones, there's a chance. There's a good chance.
What you got for us in the show today?
Well, here, and we've talked about it before plenty of times. I'm gonna be quick about this. What is holding you back from being the person God wants you to be? Having the things that God wants you to have. It's your unforgiveness. And there's things that probably happened in your past that hurt you whatsoever, what your mama did, what your uncle did, what your brother did, what your neighbor did, whatever. But and it creeps up every once in a while and it tells you you're not good enough. You're not good enough. And it stuff creeps up in my past, sometimes tries to tell me that I'm not good enough. But you're more than good enough. You're great.
Mhm.
You're great because with God, all things are possible. all things are possible. You have to forgive. You have to cut off and cast away all those things that's stopping you from being great, from stopping you from to enjoy all the blessings that God has for you. You got to cut it off and cast it away. And when you do that, and truly, truly do that, and truly, truly forgive, blessings will pour down like rain. That's it.
All right. Thank you, T.
Yeah, man.
As always, Falcons, let's go get this dub. Come on.